Getting a project management job is something of a chicken and egg problem. You can't get a project management job unless you've got experience. But you can't get experience unless you've got a project management job. So in this video, I want to talk about ways that you can get your first project management job by breaking the cycle. So how can you break the chicken and egg cycle? How can you get experience without getting a project management job, or get a project management job without any experience? Well, there are three approaches which I would call easy, easier, and easiest. Let's start with the easy route. And the easy route is all about investing your time in order to gain the experience you need to take on a project management role in your working life. And the solution is to volunteer for project management roles in charitable or voluntary organisations, in social or sporting organisations, or even in your private and family life. Look for opportunities to do projects for people who haven't got any money. Take the knowledge and learning that you have and put it to good use in a real context where people will value your voluntary effort. The best roles to look for are the roles that nobody else wants to take on, because these are the easy ones to get, but also because there's little glory in doing what everyone else can do. By taking on the difficult roles and succeeding, not only is there a pride, not only is there glory, but there is more learning to be had. And that greater level of learning and that greater depth of experience will set you up to a far higher degree in setting out to get a proper paid project management role. That was the easy route. Here is an easier route. Sometimes you'll find yourself working on a team or on the periphery of a team that is struggling. You have some knowledge about project management and you have the right enthusiasm, the right attitudes. So offer to support the manager with whatever support they're willing to take. Your ability and willingness to be organised, disciplined, and to work under pressure can serve that manager well and demonstrate your capabilities to them and to the people around you. Look for specific project management skills that you can deploy, like planning or risk management or stakeholder analysis, skills that you'll be able to put onto your resume and use to demonstrate that you've done some real project management. But be careful. It is not your job to take over from that manager or to make them look bad. Otherwise, they will find some way to punish you for trying to help. Find ways that you can support them that they want and are willing to ask for help with, and carve out for yourself a role that is complementary to theirs. And that's why I say focus on specific project management roles rather than the leadership role. This is, of course, where it pays to have a good deal of knowledge in advance, and that's one of the reasons why we built our core project management training programs, because they will give you that breadth and depth of project management so that you can deploy the skills you need when you need them. Okay, we've seen the easy route and we've seen an easier route. So what's the easiest route? The easiest route is to convert your current job, your current role, into a project management role. Set your current job up as a project. Deploy project management tools and techniques. Take the attitudes of a project manager and apply them in the current role that you have, and use that role as a launchpad to demonstrate your project management chops. And it helps to talk about this role as a project, but don't overplay it. If you overplay it, other people may turn around and say that's not a project, and suddenly you are not a project manager. But talk about it in terms of project management, and that will allow people to absorb what you're doing and understand the project management elements of your role. Once you do that, it will be much easier to take these elements and to put them onto your CV or resume and build up that asset base you need to apply for a real project management job. So how are you going to get that first project management job? Well, there are two ways, but the first thing to note is that it is unlikely that your first project management job will be as a project manager in a project management role. You're looking for a job which will expose you to project management, to be part of the team, so that you can learn from the project manager and build up the credibility and track record that will enable you to be promoted into a project manager role. The first way to get a project management job is internally, either through an appointment or a transfer or an assignment or possibly some temporary role or through a promotion. In most organisations, there is fierce competition for this kind of transfer or promotion. So the most important thing you can do is to let the people around you know, firstly, that you're looking for that role, and secondly, to demonstrate the capabilities you have and help them to make the connection between the capabilities you've demonstrated and the requirements of the role that you want. And the two people who are going to be most important to you are the person who is in your line and who can recommend you, and the HR leader who needs to know who in the organisation is eager and enthusiastic for a new and better role. If the HR leader can help you to find that opportunity, and your boss or your boss's boss can advocate on your behalf, that's half the battle won. The other thing you can do is to start to network within the organisation to find out who are the people who are going to appoint people into the roles that you are after. Getting to know them and making sure that they know about your ambition and they know who to speak to get a third-party independent view of your capabilities, that's an important part of your campaign. So here are my top 5 tactics. Number 1, build a network and get to know the people. Get to know the people who appoint project managers and get to know the people who can advocate on your behalf. Secondly, speak with project managers, get to know them, get their advice, get their insights, help them to know you and your capabilities so that they can bring you into their projects at the right time. Thirdly, think of yourself and speak of yourself as a project management professional, someone who knows about project management and is keen to get deeper into the profession. Fourth, constantly work on your pitch, your answer to the question, why should I use you on my project? Why should I bring you into this project management role? Have at your fingertips the answers to 2 specific questions. Why do you want to be involved in this project? And what would you bring to this project? And fifthly, constantly buff up your CV, your resume, your internal documents that will enable you to demonstrate in writing what you've got to offer. All of this advice, of course, applies if you're looking outside. The second way to get a project management role is outside your existing organisation. But if you are going outside your organisation, you need to add in some more tactics. The first thing I'd say about looking outside your organisation is that the time to do it is while you are successful inside your organisation. There are 3 reasons why this is important. Firstly, if you're looking while you are successful, you're less likely to feel and to come across as desperate. Second, it means you can take your time to find the right role rather than feel rushed. And thirdly, you will be confident in investing resources, time and money in preparing yourself and finding that role. If you're not successful, you'll be fearful, you won't have the confidence to invest time and money in finding that next role. Of course, you'll need to have an even stronger answer to the question, why do you want a project management role? Because it will come alongside the question, why do you want to leave your current employer? Why do you want to leave your current role in which you're successful. But assuming you've got that, here are 5 additional tactics to apply when seeking an external project management role. First, build an answer bank. I've done a video on project management interviews, and there is a full-length article with a long list of common project management interview questions. Work your way through that long list. I'll put a link in the description below. Work your way through that long list and make sure you've got a bank of good answers and good responses to each of those questions up your sleeve. Secondly, start small. You don't want the first interview you have to be for your dream job, because you won't have the interview experience to really capitalize on the opportunity, and it's too risky. So take up small opportunities that may not be right for you early on in your campaign, just to get the interview experience, and also so that you can project yourself with credibility as someone who is in the market. Turning to an employer and looking them in the eye and saying, you know what, thank you for the offer, but this is not the role for me. It takes a lot of confidence, but if you've got the confidence to do that and you know that you've done it, then when you get that right opportunity, you will have a huge amount of confidence going in, and you'll be able to negotiate a better deal when you get the job offer. But my third tactic is to look for a good fit. Don't just apply for any old role that is outside of the parameters of what you want to be doing. Start small by all means, but don't start wrong, because then you will set yourself up as someone who doesn't really know what they want, is prepared to do anything. The other aspect, of course, of the best fit is there needs to be a fit not just with what you want to be doing, but what you can credibly show that you are able to do. So a good place to start is with organizations and roles that have something in common with what you're already doing. Fourth, let your passion show. Don't be afraid to show your enthusiasm for a job role. Playing it cool does not work. Employers don't want someone to come in who may or may not really care about the role. Let potential employers know that this is a role you crave, that you really want to work at and do well at. And fifth, ask for feedback. After every interview process that you go through, ask for feedback and soak up and demand as much feedback as they are prepared to give you. Whether you succeed or fail at getting a job offer, that feedback is going to help you to craft and hone your responses in the next interview, whether it's tomorrow or in 5 years' time after you've finished the role that you're currently in. One of the things that sometimes happens to me is I get requests by email to help people out with interview processes. And the one thing that frustrates me most is when people say, my interviewers tell me this, but it's not true. Well, you may know it's not true, you may believe it's not true, but what is coming across to them is what they've told you is coming across to them. And that means you need to make changes. If you get feedback, the stupidest thing you can do is to tell yourself that the interviewer is wrong. They might be wrong about the facts, but they are certainly not wrong about their perception. And if they perceive something and it's not true, you need to change the way you present yourself so that they perceive things correctly in future. If you want more on this, I've done a full article on the onlinepmcourses.com website. In that, we cover very much the same ground as this, but in addition, I've got 6 case studies for 6 different types of individual looking for their first PM role. It talks you through how to apply these ideas and shows how you can get that next role. Because most of the people who are watching this video should be able to identify more or less closely with one of those 6 characters. So, to find out more about how Alice, Bashir, Clara, Darshan, Edmund and Farfang got their project management roles, take a look at the article. I'll put a link to it in the description below. If you're looking for your first project management role, there's lots you can do to break that chicken and egg cycle of you can't get the role till you've got the experience, and you can only get the experience when you've got the role. I wish you well with your search. Good luck. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a like. I'll be producing loads more great project management content, so please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of it. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.